My name is Luna, and I'm 42 years old, living in a small coastal town in North Carolina where the ocean breeze carries the scent of salt and freedom. This story isn't just about me. It's about a little girl who changed my life and a betrayal that still stings, even after all these years. It started over a decade ago, but the audacity of someone I once called my best friend has dragged it all back into the light. If she's watching this, I hope she's squirming in her seat, because this tale is as much hers as it is mine. Growing up, I was the kid of a single mom who worked 2 jobs to keep food on our table. She taught me to fight for what matters, to stand up for those who can't, and to never let hardship dim your heart. That grit carried me through high school, where I met Jenna. She was my opposite. Popular, polished, always chasing the next shiny thing to make her feel whole. We clicked in middle school over a shared love of cheesy pop songs and sneaking snacks during study hall. Jenna's house was my second home, her family photos lining the walls, but I never met her older brother, Kevin. He was always off somewhere, soccer practice, summer camp, or later college out of state. It wasn't until I was a junior at UNC Wilmington, nursing a soda at a dive bar downtown, that I saw a familiar face across the room. Kevin, Jenna's brother, was all grown up, with a warm smile and eyes that crinkled when he laughed. I'd seen him in those family photos, awkward braces, goofy grin, but now he was charming, confident, and completely unaware I was his sister's best friend. He slid into the booth next to me, cracking a joke about the bar's terrible jukebox. I played along, letting him flirt, until I dropped the bombshell. "You know I'm Jenna's friend, right?" His jaw hit the floor, but he recovered with a laugh, saying, "Well, you're way too pretty to just be my sister's friend." Cheesy, sure, but it worked. Jenna gave us her blessing, and Kevin and I were inseparable after that. 2 years later, we got married in a small beachside ceremony, with waves crashing and seagulls overhead. My mom sobbed through the whole thing, proud I'd found someone who matched my heart. Kevin, a history teacher with a knack for making the past feel alive, had his own scars, an absent dad who left him and Jenna when they were kids, and a stepdad who showed him what real family looks like. We settled into a cozy house in our town, right down the street from Jenna and her new husband, Marcus. Marcus was a real estate hotshot, always chasing the next big deal. He and Jenna were a picture-perfect couple on the outside, big house, flashy car, but I knew Jenna too well. She'd always been obsessed with appearances, ever since we were teens. If her life didn't look like a magazine spread, she'd unravel. When they had their daughter, Heidi, I thought maybe parenthood would ground them. I was wrong. Heidi was born with congenital cataracts, leaving her partially blind. She was the sweetest baby, with a giggle that could melt your heart and a smile that lit up the room. I adore her from the moment I held her, her tiny fingers curling around mine. But Jenna and Marcus? They couldn't handle it. Not the doctor visits, not the special care Heidi needed, not the reality that their perfect life now had a flaw. They didn't say it outright, but I saw it in their eyes, disappointment, shame, like Heidi was a problem to be fixed. I tried to be there for Heidi, taking her for walks, reading her stories, describing the world she couldn't fully see. Jenna would brush me off, insisting Heidi was fine, that she didn't need coddling. Marcus was barely around, always at some open house or networking event, leaving Jenna to parent alone. I didn't realize how bad it was until one afternoon at a local park changed everything. One sunny afternoon, Jenna, Heidi, and I went to a beachside park, a favorite spot for picnics and playdates in our town. The air smelled of salt and pine, and kids were everywhere, laughing and chasing each other along the sandy trails. Heidi, barely 4, clung to my hand, her little face bright with curiosity despite her blurry world. Jenna was chatting away about some new designer bag, oblivious to Heidi tugging at her sleeve, asking to explore. I suggested we keep a closer eye on her, but Jenna waved me off. "She's fine, Luna. Let her be a kid." I didn't like it, but I tried to focus on Heidi, pointing out the sounds of seagulls and the crunch of gravel underfoot. Then, in a split second, she was gone. My heart lurched. I scanned the crowd, the swings, the picnic tables, nothing. "Jenna, where's Heidi?" I asked, my voice sharp. She shrugged, still talking about her shopping plans. She's around. Relax. Relax. I snapped, my chest tightening. She's visually impaired, Jenna. She could be in danger. Jenna's eyes narrowed, her tone icy. Don't tell me how to raise my kid, Luna. She's fine. I wasn't listening anymore. My pulse was racing, my mom's voice echoing in my head, protect what matters. I started retracing our steps, calling Heidi's name, my voice cracking with panic. Jenna yelled after me. We're not done talking, but I ignored her. Then I saw her, Heidi, stumbling near the bike path, a narrow strip where cyclists zoomed by at full speed. She was crying, her tiny hands reaching out, calling for me, for her mom. My stomach dropped. I sprinted toward her, but she tripped, tumbling right onto the path. Cyclists swerved, brakes screeching, as I dove forward, scooping her up just before a bike could clip her. My heart pounded against her trembling body as she sobbed into my shoulder. I got you, sweetie, I whispered, trying to calm us both. Jenna finally caught up, her face more annoyed than scared. Why did you interfere? She hissed, yanking Heidi from my arms. She needs to learn to handle herself. She's 4, Jenna, I shouted, my voice shaking with fury. She could have been hurt. Did you even tell her about the bike path? She's old enough to figure it out, Jenna shot back. You're too protective. She'd have been fine, a few scrapes, big deal. A few scrapes? I was trembling now, my hands clenched. She needs care, guidance, not your ignorance. One day, it's going to cost her. Mind your own business, Luna, Jenna snapped, grabbing Heidi's hand and storming off. She's my daughter, not yours. I stood there, breathless, watching them disappear into the crowd. My heart ached for Heidi, for the way Jenna treated her like a flaw to be ignored. I wanted to shake some sense into my friend, to make her see the beautiful, brave girl she was failing. But that day, something broke between us. Jenna barely spoke to me after that, shutting me out whenever I tried to see Heidi. I'd show up at their house, and she'd make excuses, closing the door in my face. It hurt, but what hurt more was knowing Heidi was stuck with parents who didn't see her worth. A year after the park incident, everything changed again. One quiet evening, as Kevin and I were cooking dinner in our cozy kitchen, the doorbell rang. I opened it to find Jenna and Marcus standing there, holding duffel bags, with Heidi between them, her eyes downcast. My stomach twisted. Hey, Luna, Jenna said, her voice flat. We're going on a trip. Can you and Kevin watch Heidi? Of course, I said, kneeling to smile at Heidi, who clutched a stuffed bunny. How long are you gone for? Jenna and Marcus exchanged a look, and then Marcus spoke, his tone cold. Forever. We're done. Heidi doesn't fit our life. She's too much work. He shoved a folder of papers at me. These are her adoption papers. We've signed off our rights. I froze, my breath catching. You're abandoning her? I whispered, my voice shaking with disbelief. She's your daughter. We can't handle it, Jenna said, avoiding my eyes. She's a burden. You love her so much. You take her. My blood boiled. I wanted to scream, to shake them, but Heidi's small hand tugged at mine, her voice trembling. Aunt, Luna? I looked down, and her wide, cloudy eyes broke my heart. I couldn't let her see my anger. You should be ashamed, I said, my voice low and steady. She's not a burden. She's a gift. Before I could say more, they turned, got in their car, and drove off, leaving Heidi standing on our porch. I knelt beside her, tears burning my eyes as she asked, How long are they gone? I swallowed hard, pulling her close. A long time, sweetie, but you're with us now. She started sobbing, calling for her parents, and I held her tight, letting her cry until she was spent. My own tears fell silently, my mom's strength guiding me to stay strong for her. Inside, I tucked Heidi into the guest room, promising her a home with us. Will you send me away too? She whispered, her voice so small it cracked my heart. Never, I said, brushing her hair back. You're with me and Uncle Kevin now. We're gonna have so much fun, game nights, movie nights, you name it. She smiled faintly. I like that. You're more fun than them anyway. I love you, Heidi, I said, meaning every word. Always. That night, I told Kevin everything. His face darkened with fury at his sister and Marcus, but when he looked at Heidi, sleeping peacefully, his eyes softened. She's ours now, he said, his voice thick with emotion. We'll give her the life she deserves. From then on, Heidi was our world. She was so well-behaved, her laughter filling our home like sunlight. Kevin, shaped by his stepdad's love, threw himself into being her dad, teaching her history through stories, guiding her through her blindness with patience. I poured my heart into her, drawing on my mom's lessons to make her feel safe, loved, wanted. Within 6 months, Heidi stopped calling us aunt and uncle. We were mom and dad, and nothing felt more right. Raising Heidi was a joy, but it wasn't without challenges. Her partial blindness meant we had to adapt, describing colors, guiding her through our house, teaching her to trust her other senses. Kevin and I worked as a team, his patience balancing my fierce protectiveness. We filled our days with board games, where Heidi's laughter echoed as she beat us at Uno, and movie nights, where I'd narrate the action scenes to keep her in the story. She grew into a bright, curious girl, her spirit unbroken despite her early years of neglect. When Heidi was 12, a miracle came our way. Her doctor called us in, excitement in his voice. A new surgical procedure could restore up to 85% of her vision. Kevin and I sat stunned, hope battling fear. Could this really work? That night, we sat Heidi down at our kitchen table, the smell of fresh-baked cookies lingering from our latest baking adventure. Heidi, sweetie, I started, my voice soft. The doctor says there's a surgery that could help you see better. Not perfectly, but a lot. Her face lit up, then clouded with worry. What if it makes it worse, Mom? I don't want to lose what I have. Kevin took her hand, his teacher's calm steadying her. We'll find the best doctors, kiddo. We promise to keep you safe. But it's your choice. I want to see you, she whispered, her voice trembling. I want to know what my real parents look like. My heart swelled, tears pricking my eyes. She meant us, Kevin and me. We hugged her tight, promising to be there every step. The surgery was set for the next month, and we filled the weeks with fun to ease her nerves, trips to the beach, where she felt the waves, and game nights that left us all in stitches. The day of the surgery, I held her hand until they wheeled her away, my stomach in knots but my face calm for her sake. The procedure was a success. Over the next 6 months, as Heidi healed, we watched her world open up. She'd stare at the ocean, describing the blues and greens she'd never seen, her voice full of wonder. The first time she saw our faces clearly, she burst into tears, throwing her arms around us. You're even prettier than I imagined, she said, laughing through her sobs. Kevin and I cried too, our family bond stronger than ever. The next few years were magic. Heidi, now a teenager, soaked up the world with her new sight, sketching everything from seagulls to our dog's floppy ears. She'd compliment us daily, saying it was her way of catching up for all the years she couldn't see us. Kevin and I marveled at her strength, her joy, knowing we'd given her the home her biological parents never could. But one day, our peaceful life shattered, and the past came knocking. One summer afternoon, as Kevin and I prepped lunch for Heidi's day off from school, a loud knock rattled our front door. My heart skipped, a bad feeling creeping in. Kevin opened the door a crack, then slammed it shut, his face pale. "It's Jenna," he whispered. My blood ran cold. Before I could think, I flung the door open. There she was, Jenna, looking older, her eyes darting nervously. "Luna, can I come in?" she asked, her voice small. "You're not welcome here," I said, my voice sharp. "What do you want?" "I'm sorry for leaving Heidi with you," she said, wringing her hands. "I was young, stupid. I want to see her." I laughed, bitter. "You called her a burden. You don't get to waltz back now." "Please," she begged. "Marcus is sick. He needs a stem cell donor. We need to see if Heidi's a match." My jaw clenched. She wasn't here for Heidi. She was here for herself. But Heidi deserved to know. I'll talk to her, I said. You'll hear from us in 3 days. When Heidi got home, we sat her down, the weight of the moment heavy. Your biological mom came by, I said gently. Marcus is sick, and they want to see if you're a donor match. Heidi's face hardened. Is he okay? She asked, her voice steady but distant. We don't know details, Kevin said. It's your call, kiddo. We're with you, no matter what. She nodded, retreating to her room. For 3 days, she stayed quiet, eating the meals we left outside her door. Kevin and I barely slept, worrying about the pain this stirred up. On the 3rd night, Heidi joined us for dinner, her eyes clear. I've decided, she said. I'm not donating. I want to tell Jenna myself. I felt a surge of pride, but kept quiet, nodding. We invited Jenna for lunch the next day. The 4 of us sat at our dining table, the tension thick. Jenna barely looked at Heidi, her head bowed, picking at her food. Heidi broke the silence, her voice strong. Why won't you look at me, Jenna? Jenna flinched. I didn't know you could see. Yeah, Heidi said, her tone sharp. Mom and Dad got me surgery. Because they love me. I'm not helping Marcus. Why should I, after you left me? Jenna's face crumpled. You're a daughter. It's your duty. No, Heidi said, standing tall. I'm Mom and Dad's daughter. They raised me. You didn't even ask how I'm doing. I'm glad I can see, because now I know who you really are. I wanted to cheer, my heart bursting with pride. Jenna turned to me, desperate. You turned her against me. No, I said calmly. Heidi made her own choice. We raised her to think for herself. You're spoiling her. Jenna snapped. I'll call CPS. Heidi laughed, a sound both fierce and free. You didn't care for years, and now you're here because you need something. I'm done. She walked to her room, head high. Kevin stood, his voice low but firm. Leave, Jenna. Now. Jenna stammered, then fled. We gave Heidi space, then knocked on her door. She opened it, smiling. I'm okay, she said before we could ask. Can we watch movies? We spent the night laughing at bad comedies, Heidi curled between us. Months later, she's stronger than ever, sketching, joking, thriving. We don't talk about Jenna, but I know Heidi's at peace. She's our daughter, through and through, and we've built a life full of love. To everyone who's followed this journey, thank you. You've walked with us through heartbreak, courage, and triumph. If Heidi's strength moved you, hit that subscribe button and join us. Every story we share is a piece of our heart, a reminder to stand up for those you love and build a family that lasts. Keep fighting for your truth, and I'll see you at the table.